Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Is Cyprus heading for reunification?
Reunifying Cyprus after
to
more than half a century of
where?
partition.
What?
To where?
Oh, Greeks and Turks. Are they gonna reunify into one?
Were boosted on Sunday after
Oh,
voters in the
how I
largely
understood,
unrecognized
I thought they're gonna go, like, assume themselves to another country.
Oh, so the Greek part gonna become part of Greece and the Turks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
okay.
then, like, together. I thought they're gonna just go.
Oh, wow. No, I kind of thought together. Huh, let's
You
see.
mean together, so this line does not exist?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh.
Let's see. I mean, I guess it could go either way, right?
Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus delivered a landslide victory to a pro-unification candidate, defeating the incumbent hardliner that was backed by the Turkish government. Attempts at negotiating a settlement over the divided island, split along ethnic lines with the Turkish Cypriot North and Greek Cypriot South, have languished since talks collapsed in 2017. So in this video, we're going to explain why Cyprus is split, the significant results of Northern Cyprus's recent election, and whether it might lead to reunification. This episode will start in 1960, when Cyprus gained its independence from the UK, although pockets of the island do remain as British overseas territories hosting British military bases. In 1960, Cyprus was predominantly, about 77%, made up
What,
of
that they host military?
That is odd.
I guess it's like a peacekeeping mission. I don't know.
Greek Cypriots, while Turkish
Plus, I'm sure the Brits are happy to have a little presence in the Mediterranean too.
Cypriots made up about 18%.
I don't know.
At the time, Turkish Cypriots were not concentrated in the north like they are today. Rather, their communities were spread around the island. The new constitution established Cyprus as a bicommunal state, aiming to safeguard the respective communities, and providing for a Greek Cypriot president and a Turkish Cypriot vice president. Cyprus, Greece, Turkey, and the UK also signed the Treaty of Guarantee in 1960, banning Cyprus from entering into any political or economic union with any other state. In other words, ruling out the competing ethno-political goals that emerged on the island: annexation by Greece and Turkish Cypriot secession. On top of this, it established Greece, Turkey, and the UK as guarantors of the Republic of Cyprus, with the right to take action with the sole aim of re-establishing the state of affairs created by the treaty. But in 1963, intercommunal violence erupted, and the Turkish community pulled out of power sharing, prompting the deployment of a UN peacekeeping force in 1964. Skip ahead to July 1974, and Greece's ruling military junta backed a coup in Cyprus, raising the prospect of Greek annexation. Days later, Turkey, pointing to its role as a guarantor, invaded Cyprus in the north, quickly reaching the capital, Nicosia. These events piled pressure on the Greek junta, and it collapsed just days after Turkey invaded Cyprus, paving the way for Greek democracy to be restored. But despite this, and despite a nominal ceasefire and ongoing negotiations, in August, Turkey launched a second phase of its invasion, capturing the island's northern third. What followed included ethnic cleansing and population transfer, with some 165,000 Greek Cypriots fleeing or driven from the north, and some 45,000 Turkish Cypriots displaced in the other direction, resulting in an effective partition of the island, with a Greek Cypriot south and a Turkish Cypriot north, separated by a UN-administered buffer zone.
You already pay rent, so what if you could earn points that turn into your next vacation, or help cover a future rent payment?
UN Security Council resolutions that called on Turkey to withdraw from Cyprus went unheeded, and in 1983, Turkish Cypriots unilaterally proclaimed the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. To this day, only Turkey recognizes Northern Cyprus, while the rest of the international community recognizes the Republic of Cyprus as the legitimate government on the island. Cyprus then joined the European Union in 2004, although...
But I wonder, how does the NATO and whoever EU recognize is Republic of Cyprus the whole island or just that blue territory?
Look like just the blue.
Because that's interesting. Because I kind of feel like they have to recognize the Republic of Cyprus as the whole island then. Because then what is that other part of Ireland? What do you recognize that? Like, you can't pretend it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
EU law doesn't apply in the north. For decades, though, talks aimed at securing peace and finally settling the issue have failed. The closest they came was in 2004 with the UN's Annan Plan, which proposed reunification under a federal arrangement. In twin referendums, Turkish Cypriots voted 65% in favour of the plan, but Greek Cypriots overwhelmingly rejected it. Reunification negotiations resumed in 2015 with some newfound optimism, but they collapsed in 2017 and have been frozen since then. So let's skip ahead to the present day to understand why the chances of a return to talks have been raised.
Yeah,
At
but
Sunday's
how
Northern
come?
Cyprus presidential election, centre-left opposition leader Tufan Erhuman won nearly 63% of the vote, resoundingly defeating incumbent president Ersin Tatar, who scored just under 36%. Erhuman, a law professor turned politician, is in favour of restarting UN-led reunification talks and has pledged to explore a federal solution to the Cyprus problem, which is what the UN and international community has long supported, and would entail some sort of federation that includes both Greek and Turkish Cypriot polities.
This
makes
makes what's the
Erhuman starkly
motivation? Like,
different from
what's
his-
the incentive for the reunification? Because that to me, it has to be a motivation.
Well, I think the incentive is then you can actually proceed as one country, like in everything. You can join unions, you know, you can become like part of the modern world. Because right now you're kind of in stalemate because you can't really do nothing. I think that's the motivation. I would think.
But I wonder what they're gonna do.
Plus, you know, some sort of peace too, because I think there's a lot of tensions, a lot of uncertainty, and you know, like they're afraid of like war, constant fears. So I think they just want like some sort of certainty, I guess.
His predecessor. Tatar, backed by Turkish President Erdogan, had spent the past 5 years pushing for a two-state solution, rather than seeking negotiations and reunification. But this has not helped Northern Cyprus gain greater international legitimacy, and Erhuman argued that Tatar's policy had instead pushed Northern Cyprus further into international isolation. His landslide victory suggests that Turkish
I
Cypriot
see
voters
the
share this
Northern
frustration, and all-
Cyprus perspective because right now they're not recognized at
Yes.
all.
Mm-hmm.
But the Republic of Cyprus on their end, what do they want? They want them Northern Cyprus to join the Republic of Cyprus?
Yeah, I think so. Well, so I guess what the Republic of Cyprus, the Greeks would gain, maybe like pulling out of the Turks military from the island. Maybe if there is military, I don't know. But if there's like Turkish military presence, maybe that would be what they would gain, you know, so they would feel just safer. I don't know.
Also, that Northern Cyprus's largely secular population are unhappy with the extent of influence wielded by Turkey's increasingly Islamist-tinged government under Erdogan. In response to the election, Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulides congratulated Erhuman on his victory, reiterating his own readiness and commitment to resume substantive negotiations on the Cyprus issue. But while resurrecting the defunct peace process would be a significant moment and a major step forward, there are plenty of obstacles ahead. For starters, Northern Cyprus is deeply dependent on Turkey for energy, economic, and military support. And Turkey is its only ally and linked to the outside world, giving it significant sway over the Northern Cypriot government, limiting Erhuman's room for maneuver. He clearly recognizes this, and has sought to soothe any concerns in Turkey by announcing that his first visit will be to meet Erdogan, and that his foreign policy will be conducted, quote, in consultation with Turkey. While Erdogan has been publicly gracious about his favoured candidate losing, by congratulating Erhuman and praising the vote as evidence of democratic maturity, his foreign minister repeated prior to the election that, quote, the only realistic solution to the Cyprus issue lies in the recognition of the existence of two separate states on the island. Additionally,
Yeah, I don't know. I think he has to pull away from Erdogan. I think he has to concede something so that the Republic of Cyprus can't let them in. I think. I don't, because I don't think Turkey wants to let it go. They let the island go, so Turkey would never approve it. And if he depends on Turkey for this, it's not gonna go anywhere. I think for it to go somewhere, he has to lean into the Greek side of the island. I just don't see it going somewhere with Erdogan's permission. He's like, oh yeah, leave. No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
one of Erdogan's nationalist allies went as far as to say that the Northern Cyprus parliament should declare the results as unacceptable and unify with Turkey instead. Even if Erhuman does manage to operate with relative independence, there are problems on the Greek Cypriot side too. As we mentioned, Greek Cypriots were the ones who rejected the 2004 reunification plan, and the familiar optimism of 2015, sparked by the election of a left-wing pro-negotiation North Cypriot president that same year, was ultimately quashed when talks collapsed in 2017 amid several crucial sticking points. Ultimately, before any unified Cypriot federation can be established, many unresolved questions need answering. Would the tens of thousands of Turkish troops stationed in northern Cyprus stay or go? Would Turkey
Okay, yeah, so there's Turkish troops. I think that's what the Greeks can gain. Not the Greeks, but the Greek Cypriots can gain on this island is the removal of Turkish troops. I think that would be a win for them. So I think that would be a bargaining chip. It's like we send the Turkish troops back to Turkey, and so that's I see that as a negotiation point.
Treaty status as a guarantor. What do equal political rights mean in a nation that will be more than 70%?
Because honestly, I don't think neither side really wants like a war. They see what's going on in Palestine, just close to them.
Yeah.
They see what's going on in Ukraine. Yeah, I don't think they want that. Like, for what?
Does it mean veto powers for the minority Turkish Cypriots? Or would power be proportional to community populations? Would displaced people have the full right to return to their pre-partition homes? What would happen to post-partition Turkish settlers? Would lost land be returned or compensated? How would reunification interact with wider Greek-Turkish maritime disputes and the exploitation of gas deposits in the eastern Mediterranean? So yes, there are still major obstacles, but if these issues are being negotiated at all, that is at least a step towards reunification that hasn't been taken for years. Before you go, we've just announced our new...
Going. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. And always, share as much kindness as possible.